Good morning and welcome to lucky day number 13 of the Goleta Project. We have a very special guest this morning. We got Scotty G. He's making me get up pretty early in the morning to come run with him. I'm supposed to meet him at 5:45 to get started this morning. So a little tired this morning, but it should be fun and we're looking forward to it. So today we're going to be heading out from the Dos Fellows High School down Cathedral Oaks. And then down Los Coneros, and then kind of doing a little jiggity jog through here, and then head back to school. So I don't know, probably be around 4 to 5 miles. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you out there. All right, we got lucky day number 13 for the Goleta Project. Today I got Scotty G with me here today.
Hey guys, how we doing?
So we're gonna go hit the roads, and we'll see you out there. All right, Scotty.
Okay.
Everybody knows you're from New York, but what's the whole story? How'd you get here?
Okay, so when I was about 7 years old, I knew I wanted to be in the beach my whole life. And I just fell in love with California as a young kid, watching the California lifestyle. And when I got to junior high, I kind of figured out that probably the best chance of me getting there was college. So I kind of just focused on learning about like the college system in California and working with my counselors on schools. And then way back in the 80s, West Coast schools were way less expensive than East Coast schools. So there wasn't a cost issue of going out here. So I came out to California when I was about 15 to visit with my family, and we drove the coast, and I fell in love with it as much as I thought I would. So I kept doing my work at school, and I said, I'm gonna go. And so I applied to the whole UC system. At that time, $55, you could apply to every school. So it was a one fee for all the schools. So I wrote my essays, did my app, did some weird research on this big machine that printed out test scores and GPAs for schools. And I picked Berkeley, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, and UC San Diego as my schools. And then I got into all four. So then I had to choose a school. And I decided Berkeley was Northern California, not near a beach, not what I wanted. UCLA, 35,000 students, way too big. It was like a city. I didn't really like LA when I came out here. So then I thought for sure I'd go to San Diego. I'd never been to Santa Barbara. And then I was reading about San Diego. It had all these different school campuses, and I'm like, I'm not into splitting people up. So it was like you're in this college or that college. So then I read about UCSB, and I'm like, what's up with this school? And it was like, everybody has a bike, you don't need a car. I wasn't gonna have a car. It was by the beach. I'm like, oh, I'll go there. So packed up all my stuff after my senior year. Parents flew me out to UCSB. Opened up my window to my dorm. Saw the ocean. My parents looked at me and they said, you ain't never coming back. And that was in 1982. And I graduated in 86. And I've been in Santa Barbara ever since.
All right, Scotty. Student asks, what is the most spirited thing that you've ever done at DP?
Oh my God. So it's gonna have to be the blonde hair. The blonde hair kind of won. I mean, there's a lot of cool things I've done, but bleaching my whole head blonde and keeping it for 6 months was probably the number one thing I did. I mean, somebody from your book actually submitted it as a spirit picture this year for the whole state of California.
Oh, nice.
So I'm in a competition because of it. So I'm gonna have to go with that because I think it affected the most students as far as school spirit. I mean, the number of kids who came to a dance because I was gonna do that was crazy. So we made, in 2 dances, almost $1,500 because people wanted my hair blocked.
Nice.
So I'm like, and all that money went back to Greek activities.
So a related question, when you started teaching at DP, how long did it take before you kind of took on that role, the spirit role for the school?
So in my whole high school, I was always really, really into activities, and I really kind of admired my activities director, and I thought, what a cool job. Sure, it's impossible to get. Sorry. And when I got to DP, I met Mr. DP. It wasn't Mr. DP before me. His name was Steve Meister. He'd been doing activities for 25 years. And I basically spent 4 years helping him and another woman named Phyllis Lanker, who was in charge of senior class office. And he basically trained me, nurtured me to take over his job. And that was in 1994 when I started. 93, 94 was my first class. And this is my 26th year doing it. And I'm still planning on doing it until I retire.
All right, Scotty.
Okay.
Next question. And my wife and I made a guess at this one, so we'll see if we're right.
Okay.
What DP tradition? Oh, look, a rainbow.
Wow, look at the rainbow.
That's right.
Cool one.
Yeah. Let's see if I can share it with you guys. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. All right. What DP tradition would you bring back to DP if you could?
It's gotta be grease pole. It's gotta be grease pole. As dangerous as it is, we never had that many injuries. Nothing that was that bad. It was fun. It filled the Greek. It was a tradition. It was like a rite of passage for seniors. So I'm gonna have to go with grease pole.
All right.
I don't think it'll ever come back, and I totally respect why. But in my little perfect world, we'd have grease pole.
All right, Scotty. Growing up,
All right.
what did you see as your occupation?
Well, that's always an interesting question. Because when I came out here as a zoologist major. And I always wanted to work at SeaWorld or the San Diego Zoo. So I went to UCSB as a zoology major. Then I went into marine bio and decided science was not for me. But I always loved working with teenagers. Even my high school as a peer mentor. I did some peer advocacy. So I took a couple of communication classes and some psychology classes. Hated psychology, loved communications. Discovered sociology, which is like human behavior. So I ended up double majoring in sociology and communications. And then I did my internship at the Teenage Runaway Shelter and confirmed my belief. Thought I would never work in schools. Thought high school counseling was stupid. And my high school counselor didn't really help me very much. And I didn't feel like I could help kids that way. And then while I was working at the Runaway Shelter, I decided there was a lot of things going wrong in schools. So I should try and work in the schools as a counselor that could help kids. And I found a principal who wanted to have a counselor to work differently than a regular school counselor. And I said, hey, if I can work with at-risk youth who struggle in high school, I'm all in. So I did that, and then topped it off with activities. So working with kids who struggle in school and working with kids who love school was a perfect balance for me. So
All right.
that's kind of how it ended up. I came to DP in 90, and this is my 30th year. 3-0.
Right on. All right, Scotty. So, rumor has it you're a big Jimmy Buffett fan.
Huge Jimmy Buffett fan.
Can you sing a couple of lines from your favorite song?
I don't think I'm allowed to.
Because of the noise ordinance?
Just because my voice is so awful.
That's all right, we don't care.
Heading to San Francisco for the Labor Day weekend show. I got my hush puppies on. I guess I never was meant for glitter rock and roll. Woo! There you go.
Nice. All right. Unrelated question. How do you like to eat your chicken?
How do I like to eat my chicken?
What's your favorite way to eat chicken?
Barbecued.
Barbecue.
Barbecue fresh.
All right. What's your favorite way to eat potatoes?
Ooh. Garlic mashed.
All right, we just got done with our run around Goleta. Scotty G, any last words for the students?
Stay positive. Think that this is going to be over and that we're all coming back to DP ASAP. And I miss all of you. So please come back as soon as possible. Thank you.
Right on, Scotty. All right, well, that concludes day 13 of the Goleta Project. Scotty G, it was a lot of fun running with you out there today. Ended up being 5.7 miles. Here's the little map of what we ran today. That was great. Scotty G, I mean, who doesn't love Scotty G, man? That guy works so hard, right? I mean, his car is there before everybody gets there pretty much, and then it's there when everybody gets home. So I don't know that there's a harder working guy than Scotty G, and especially right now, man, he is working harder than ever to try and get the kids pass and just kind of doing whatever needs to be done, man. I mean, wow. It's one of those things where like people ask for volunteers for things, you know, when they need help or that kind of thing, you know. Some people try and avert their eyes, but not Scotty G, man. He's always the one to volunteer and dive right into it. So I don't know how many kids maybe wouldn't have graduated or wouldn't have, you know, accomplished what they needed to accomplish without him. So what an awesome guy, and it was my pleasure to run with him today. Speaking of awesome people, though, coming up next, we have Marietta Sanchez, former principal secretary, longtime employee, and former student of Dos Pueblos High School. And then also Debbie Delawan-Bo, athletics secretary and senior class advisor. So that'll be exciting too. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you out there.